Good evening. Just a quick video regarding some of the bankruptcy cases out there. Um, it's been going on for a while now. I haven't put my finger on it, but it's been either managed poorly by the lawyers, which I'm going to look into. I'm going to look at how much they're making on these cases. They shouldn't be making more than 20-25% tops. So I'm going to take a look at the Washington Mutual case and some of these cases and see what they're making. It would make no sense to appoint somebody who's being paid a lot to take a big part of the pie. That would defeat the purpose of hiring somebody who's paid very well. So I'm going to take a look at that. Could be something else. Something's not right, because you don't want to destroy any value any further. Whatever value is left, kind of like a broken, partially broken piece of fine china. You don't want to damage it any further. It's just you don't want to make the situation any worse. If somebody comes in the hospital and has a gunshot wound, the doctor is going to do their best to make, maybe they're a paraplegic or something, but they're going to do their best. They're going to try and salvage what they can and not make the situation worse. So basically, some of these companies go under in bankruptcy, and some of them, reemerge, and you have all sorts of stories. But you would only want to engage on this path if overall the company would go up in value. So I understand that there's bankruptcy laws and this or that, but that has no bearing whatsoever on adding value. As Tim McCarver of the St. Louis Cardinals said, there's always a strategy for a losing team in a game. Burn out the pitcher, or maybe it was Bob Brenly that said that, but there's always a winning strategy there. So, as a result of this, well, there's 2 points here. One of them is the fact that the way I'm going to deal with this situation. The other is kind of more of a personal note, and how I'm still ahead here, even though I'm losing, which is something that I've always been able to do, which is kind of miraculous. But so the first part, we'll actually deal with the second part first. So if 10% of the backs you can get in the market, maybe 13% on the Russell, maybe even higher on a micro cap. Doesn't matter. We don't need to argue over what the max you can get on that. I can just beat somebody based off of the savings rate. So, if I can't if there's no market there for me to invest in something that returns higher than 10% on Microsoft stock, well, I'm going to beat somebody by investing more of my paycheck in there, and I still beat them. So we both get 10% on Microsoft stock, but I have more Microsoft stock because I've saved more of my paycheck. So either way, I'm going to beat you. You don't need to get an argument over what this returns or that returns. So at the end of the day, I'm going to beat you, and nothing you have to worry about. It's just people's individual abilities. And the other part is the fact that some of these bankruptcy cases haven't turned out well, and I don't really, I said something's not right, but you can always retaliate on somebody, and I've let stuff. I've retaliated for far less stuff. So it's not something I let slide. I'm either going to not have children, which is not a problem for me at all, or not do beals conjecture. So it's they kind of mess with the wrong guy here. That's why you don't want to cheat somebody, or, like I said, getting back to adding value. So if you destroy value, it's just not replaced. It's gone and it's not there anymore. So Mozart dies at, I think, 35, and there's nobody that replaces him. It's just gone. And I'm just using it as a scenario of value destructive. So it's just lost. You can say, oh, we don't have a choice here with bankruptcy cases, but we do. If they're not adding value, then you need to either come up with something else or not do it, or do it in a different way. Because you're not, just because you have to go to court or restructure this or that doesn't mean that you have to destroy value. Those are two completely different things. And that's the second time we've mentioned that. So I certainly would not default on a credit card or this or that if I didn't think it was worth it. And that's what adding value is. Is it worth it? And so you don't even have to look at the data to affirm that. I'm going to look at it just because I'm curious, but you don't need to there's like I said, there might be somebody out there who says, oh, they have to go through bankruptcy court. Washington Mutual is kind of a unique case, and I don't want to get into that too much. If that doesn't return money to their investors, then you circle back to the FDIC seizing the bank. Those investors would want the bankruptcy process to play out instead of losing money. They'd rather take their chances. If you'd offer them two envelopes, one with no money and one with might have money, they're going to always take the one that might have money. So, like we said, we can, there's an argument there. Oh, you have to go through the courts, but you can't argue the fact that you're always trying to add value no matter what. There's unless there's like an evil person out there, but this certainly would not apply to that. So, I'm not saying that company has a choice there. They do have to pay their creditors, or they do go into bankruptcy court. But the part of the process of bankruptcy court is to continue to add value, and there's no counter argument on that. And even if there was, I still have my punishment. So they messed with the wrong guy on this one, and you're gonna have to pay the price. It doesn't matter to me.